Hello there, back with another Korean beauty edit thanks to you. I'm letting viewer recommendations lead the way. You know I read the comments on my videos, so I've been keeping a note of some of your favourite formulas and shades and DMs full of fantastic suggestions. So I placed a big Yes Style order and I'm happy to have partnered with Yes Style again for this video. I've talked about their fantastic range of Korean brands before and every single recommendation I looked up was available on their site. So the proof is in the shopping. They ship internationally and my code is still active. Matilda on video 10 takes 10% off orders over $49 US. You've guided me towards some glowy and matte lip tints, sheer blushes, and fun multitaskers. K-beauty is one of the topics on my channel that always prompts such a passionate, warm response because so many of you have found particular products or formulas that you feel so strongly about and need more people to know how good they are. So I might be the one sharing videos here, but I'm so grateful to be able to ask for suggestions and mini reviews from all of you, and we really have conversations in the comments. I see you sharing tips with each other too. So this video is like a recommendation celebration. Quick nail polish note, Momoko recommended Romance Mood Pebble Nail Jelly Polishes, so that's what I'm wearing. Kate also mentioned this formula on my green nail polish video last year, so I'll have to try the khaki next time, but Rosy Syrup is a glossy, sheer but buildable, fast drying, warm rosy berry. Very me colour for autumn / all year round. This is 3 coats with nail brightener underneath. Just wish the brush was wider to make application easier. 2 juicy blushes. Kay on Instagram told me about the Apu Juicy Pang Jelly Blusher shade Fig, and they did not lead me astray. The colour is called High Class Rosy Brown, but it kind of also looks like a sun-kissed deep peach. Cream to powder with a jelly texture, so it's soft and squidgy in the compact, don't press hard, then beautifully smooth and even on the cheeks with a candy, fruity scent. Off to an excellent start. When Ira mentioned Feve Hyperfit Colour Serum in the shade Meaning Out, alongside Nude Stick Sunkissed and Sunset Strip as summer blushes, 2 of my favourites, I had to try it. Cool branding and packaging. This rose coral is more like a burst of sheer watermelon for a sunburnt, strawberry makeup sort of blush. Very lightweight, dries down to a matte. It's not a dewy serum. If you saw my Korean beauty catch-up video or everyday summer lip edit earlier this year, you'll know I'm already into Romand Juicy Lasting Tints, a lip tint that wears evenly but keeps its sheen with a slightly tacky feeling and intense sweet fruity scent. The shade range is extensive and State of Kate went above and beyond sharing these swatches. I went for 2 autumnal shades, Almond Rose, a My Lips But Better Berry Flush, and Peachy Coral Mulled Peach. I actually think Mulled Peach wins for me. Nice match for my lips. I keep seeing Romand's new Glasting Melting Balms around. Ray knows I love fresh tinted balms, so I had to see how these compared. Cocoa Nude was still in stock and I'm so pleasantly surprised by the shade. A soft, lively apricot beige that won't wash you out because it's so sheer. It coats your lips. Thicker and more filmy than fresh. The bullet gets messy because it's melty, but I didn't find this shade messy on. Extremely comfortable, such juicy shine, and a sweet peach scent. AJ and Joanna got me with their lovely descriptions of Peri Pera Ink Mood Glowy tints. I agree with Joanna, this is in a similar realm to the juicy lasting tints, but feels even lighter and more balmy. Lovely texture. Brown Heaven doesn't exactly sound like a My Lips But Better shade, but it's stunning. A dreamy, deep, rosy brown. The colour intensifies on the lips and leaves a stain when the gloss fades, so one light layer looks great. Scent, vanilla. Couldn't ignore Dow saying Espoir Couture Lip Tint Shine was a YSL water stain dupe. Loved those in 2020. Nutty is a cinnamon brown. Decadent, deeper, browner than Bond Girl vibe. It's so water light at first, then sets to a tacky finish. Bit sticky with more subtle shine than the others. It did also cling to some dryness, but on the rest of my lips the shade did wear really evenly for a colour this rich. I think the scent is grape. Not that keen, it's almost a bit sweet and sour. Korean brands are winners in the comfortable, blurred liquid lip lane. How could I not screenshot Anna's rave review for Etude Fixing Tint in Dusty Beige? This lightweight matte feels like nothing on. It's not drying, it looks smooth, doesn't emphasize texture, and doesn't budge. Absolutely no transfer with a weightless feel. Dusty Beige seems like a second cousin of Pillow Talk. Less peachy, more of a cool, lilac-y dusty pink with a soft vanilla scent. Romand Zero Velvet Tint came up a lot. Shivani mentioned this on my blotted lip look video a year ago. Then Dharma brought Vintage Taupe to my attention. I like doing a smaller smush in the middle of my lips, then smudging with my finger for a softer, browny, rosy, autumn upstate road trip aesthetic. Light, velvety and powdery and comfy. In a previous Yes Style order, my chosen Romand Blur Fudge tint shade was out of stock, but now it's here. Fudgy matte lip tints for a blotted look. Feels very smooth, almost creamy with that whipped, powdery slip again. Musky is a brick red I hoped would have a Bond Girl vibe, one of my all-time favourite colours, but it's more orange toned. Cosmetic scent meets vaguely vanilla. Ordering Multitaskers? Who, me? Kaja Beauty's Jelly Charm Glazed Lip Stain and Blush had already been on my radar and was recommended by Carrie, thank you. This is a sheer but buildable lip-to-cheek stain with a light jelly texture and glossy shine. Love a dewy blush, you can keep patting and tapping to reduce the glow, but it lasts nicely on the lips. Fig Soda is called Rosy Brown. Not a lot of brown happening, quite a blushing, bright berry rose on me. Sweet and fruity. A couple of bonus self-guided multitasking product picks. I'd been waiting for the Kaja Beauty Whipped Dream shade Meringue Pink to be back in stock. A super sheer, smooth, whipped satin matte for cheeks, eyes and lips. This is such a nice light peach pink for a soft monochrome look. Wash on the eyes, smudge on the cheeks, pat the excess on your lips, done. And a multi-purpose crayon will always catch my eye. The Too Cool for School Art Class Frottage Pencil is interesting because I thought it would be a creamy, maybe waxy, crayon-like chunky pencil texture, but it's actually dry and softly shades in with so little pressure, just like a real coloured pencil. Sunset Quartz is a fresh coral for a nice relaxed sunset eye or an even better swipe of bold, fun eyeliner. Well done, team! Thank you for all of your fantastic product suggestions that helped me shape this video. You always deliver. Constant temptation reading my comments and DMs every day. Thank you to Yes Style too for supporting my content again. You can find all of these products linked below on their website. Very happy with the look of this polish. My first time trying a jelly nail. Loved the texture of these three formulas in particular, and I'll get plenty of use out of this peachy pink coral family this summer. If you're a viewer who spotted yourself or your recommendation on screen, please say hello and let me know if any of you already have any of these formulas at home and what you'd suggest I keep on my wishlist for future K-beauty browsing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.